Hanover's idyllic old town. The city wants to make sure its visitors and tourists don't miss a single site or attraction. That's why they came up with this little red line. It runs 4 kilometers through the city, guiding you to 36 of its most important sites, including plenty of examples of Hanover's royal splendor. This city was a seat of royal power for more than 200 years, home to the later kings of Hanover from one of Europe's oldest noble families. This was supposed to be their new palace, but the King of Hanover was stripped of power by the Prussians in 1866 and never got to move in. Instead, the palace remained empty for 10 years until a university took over the building. Hanover's Opera House is another example of royal architecture. The king wanted to locate the building in what was then the city center, and the architects had to fight hard to get their project on its outskirts approved. But in the end, Hanover grew and developed around the Opera House. Hanover continued to grow in size and splendor under Prussian rule too, with buildings like the new City Hall. Today, it's become a landmark. Curious visitors can take a tour, exploring its interior all the way up to the roof. From the dome, visitors have a tremendous panoramic view of Hanover. Right in the heart of the city, the man-made Maschsee Lake is one of Hanover's many green oases. And so are the banks of the Leine River. The spacious Gorge Garden is a landscape park created in the English style, and it's a favorite among students. Visitors taking a stroll through the royal gardens are transported back to the 17th century. The Grocer Garden, or Great Garden, was the centerpiece of the Elector's summer residence. It was envisioned and realized by Electress Sophia of Hanover, who wanted to create a sort of ballroom outdoors. The central focus of the garden is this fountain, which shoots over 80 meters into the sky. For both locals and visitors, picnicking at the royal residence is a special treat. And don't leave the royal gardens without seeing the famous grotto designed by Niki de Saint-Phal. Here, the artist created a magical world made of colorful mosaics. It's accents like this that reveal the modern face of Hanover. Once controversial, Banana's sculptures are now an integral part of the city. Hanover has been investing in open-air modern art since the 1970s, and some of it ends up in the city's pedestrian zones. Even Hanover's bus stops have a special flair. Some were designed by international artists. Of course, there's art indoors too, like in the Kastner Museum. The building itself is an important attraction for art lovers. The block-like structure is wrapped in walls of concrete latticework and covered with 5,000 windows. Inside, visitors find a range of design objects. The Sprenger Museum focuses on contemporary and classic art. A world-renowned museum, it features up to 25 different exhibitions every year. Whether taking in the cultural attractions or relaxing outdoors in its parks and gardens, Hanover is certain to delight.